Oh hey there! Welcome to my channel. For today's game, we analyze the data and provide free NBA expert predictions every day of the season. So please do subscribe to my channel. New Orleans Pelicans at Boston Celtics. The Monday NBA schedule will tip off with a matinee between the New Orleans Pelicans and the Boston Celtics from TD Garden. The Pelicans, 16-27, have dropped 16 of their first 22 road games and trail Portland by 1.5 games for 10th place in the West. On Saturday, New Orleans trailed by 28 points at halftime during a 120-105 road loss against Brooklyn. The Boston Celtics have won 4 of their last 5 games and are trying to figure things out for rookie head coach Ime Udoka. On Saturday, Robert Williams III converted 2 free throws with 9.7 seconds remaining to lift Boston to a 114-112 home victory versus Chicago. The Celtics, 22-22, scored the final 8 points of the game and out-rebounded the Bulls by a 50-32 margin. Boston guard Marcus Smart, health and safety protocols, has missed the last 3 straight games and will remain sidelined for this contest. These two teams rank in the bottom half of the league in offensive efficiency and the bottom third in tempo. Take the under.
Charlotte Hornets at New York Knicks. The world's most famous arena will play host to a Monday afternoon clash between the Charlotte Hornets and the New York Knicks. The Hornets, 23-20, have won 7 of their last 10 games and are sitting in 7th place in the Eastern Conference standings. On Friday, Charlotte was outscored by 10 points during the fourth quarter of a 116-109 home loss versus Orlando. The New York Knicks have won 3 straight games and are tied with Washington for 9th place in the Eastern Conference standings. On Saturday, New York built a 14 points halftime lead and cruised to a 117-108 road triumph against Atlanta. The Knicks, 22-21, out-rebounded the Hawks by a 44-31 margin and shot 51% from the field. Recently acquired forward Cam Reddish, ankle, has yet to make his team debut and will remain sidelined for this game. The Hornets rank near the bottom of the league in defensive efficiency, so the over is worth a look. The stronger play is on the Knicks to cover at home, Knicks plus 2.5.
Philadelphia 76ers at Washington Wizards. Eastern Conference foes will square off on Monday afternoon when the Philadelphia 76ers invade the nation's capital to take on the Washington Wizards. The 76ers, 25-17, have won 9 of their last 10 games and trail Chicago by 2.5 games for the next record in the East. On Saturday, Philadelphia outscored Miami by 18 points during the second half to rally for a 109-98 road victory. The Washington Wizards have won 12 of their first 20 home games and are tied with New York for 9th place in the conference standings. On Saturday, Washington trailed by 11 points at halftime and had their rally fall short during a 115-110 home loss versus Portland. The Wizards, 22-21, turned the ball over 20 times and shot 43% from the field in defeat. Washington guard health and safety protocols missed Saturday's loss and is listed as questionable for this game. The 76ers are the more efficiency offensive and defensive team. Take Philadelphia to cover on the road. Brooklyn Nets at Cleveland Cavaliers. In Monday afternoon NBA action, the Brooklyn Nets will travel to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse to battle the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Nets, 27-15, have won 15 of their first 19 road games and trail Chicago by a half game for the best overall record in the Eastern Conference. On Saturday, Brooklyn outscored New Orleans by 18 points during the second quarter and coasted to a 120-105 home victory. The Cleveland Cavaliers are riding a 4-game winning streak and are tied with Philadelphia for 5th place in the East. On Saturday, Cleveland outscored Oklahoma by 15 points during the second half to rally for a 107-102 road victory. The Cavaliers, 26-18, assisted on 28 of their 40 made field goals and shot 46% overall. Brooklyn forward Kevin Durant has been diagnosed with a sprained MCL in his knee and will miss the next 4 to 6 weeks. These two teams rank in the top 10 of the league in defensive efficiency, so the under is my lean on the total. The stronger play is on Cleveland to cover at home. Chicago Bulls at Memphis Grizzlies. The Chicago Bulls look to snap a 3-game losing streak when visiting the Memphis Grizzlies on Monday. Chicago is 27-14 and the first in the Central Division, 2 games ahead of the second-place Milwaukee Bucks. The Bulls were defeated by the Boston Celtics 114-112 on Saturday for their third consecutive defeat. Nikola Vucevic was the leading scorer for Chicago with 27 points. Chicago was out-rebounded by Boston 50-32. Memphis looks to bounce back from a loss with a victory on Monday when hosting Chicago. Memphis is 30-15 and first in the Southwest Division with a 5-game lead over the Dallas Mavericks. Memphis was defeated by the Mavericks on Friday, which snapped a 11-game winning streak for the Grizzlies. Ja Morant was the leading scorer for Memphis with 19 points. Chicago could be without its second leading scorer Zach LaVine and its leader in assists Lonzo Ball, as both did not play in the loss on Saturday to Boston. Chicago has failed to cover the number in 6 of its last 9. Memphis is 11-1 straight up and 9-3 ATS over its last 12. The Grizzlies are holding opponents to an average of 107.9 points per game and the Memphis offense is generating an average of 111.6 points per game. Memphis Grizzlies win and cover. Indiana Pacers at LA Clippers. The Indiana Pacers look to snap a 3-game losing streak when visiting the LA Clippers on Monday. Indiana is 15-28 and 4th in the Central Division, 13 games behind the first-place Chicago Bulls. The Pacers were defeated by the Phoenix Suns 112-94 on Friday. Justin Holiday was the leading scorer for Indiana with 25 points, but the Pacers as a team shot only 38.6% overall and were out-rebounded 51-42. The LA Clippers look to snap a 2-game losing streak when hosting Indiana on Monday. LA is 21-23 and 4th in the Pacific Division, 12 and 1/2 games behind the first-place Phoenix Suns. The Clippers were defeated by the San Antonio Spurs 101-94 on Saturday. Amir Coffey was the leading scorer for the Clippers with 20 points, but the Clippers as a team shot only 38.0% overall. Indiana is slowly becoming healthy again as the only 2 players out on Monday will be TJ McConnell and TJ Warren. Both Jeremy Lamb and Malcolm Brogdon are questionable but expected to play. LA continues to play without its leading scorer Paul George and the Clippers have failed to cover the number in 5 of their last 7. Indiana has covered the nut in 5 of its last 6 versus an opponent from the Western Conference. Indiana Pacers win and cover.
Milwaukee Bucks at Atlanta Hawks. The Milwaukee Bucks look to bounce back from a loss, with a victory on Monday when visiting the Atlanta Hawks. Milwaukee is 27-18 and 2nd in the Central Division, 2 games behind the first-place Chicago Bulls. Giannis Antetokounmpo was the leading scorer for Milwaukee in the loss with 30 points, but as a team Milwaukee shot just 33.8% overall. Atlanta looks to snap a 5-game losing streak with a victory on Monday when hosting Milwaukee. Atlanta is 17-25 and 4th in the Southeast Division, 9 and 1/2 games behind the first-place Miami Heat. The Hawks were defeated by the New York Knicks 117-108 on Saturday. Trae Young was the leading scorer for Atlanta with 29 points. The Hawks were out-rebounded by New York 44-31. Atlanta is 5-0 straight up and against the spread over its last 5, and the Hawks could be without their leading rebounder Clint Capella as well as Bojan Bogdanovic, as both missed Saturday's loss to the New York Knicks. Atlanta has struggled most of the first half of the season at home as the Hawks have failed to cover the number in each of the last 11 at State Farm Arena. Milwaukee Bucks win and cover. Portland Trail Blazers at Orlando Magic. The Portland Trail Blazers look for a second consecutive victory on Monday when visiting the Orlando Magic. Portland is 17-25 and fourth in the Northwest Division, 11 games behind the first-place Utah Jazz. Portland defeated the Washington Wizards on Saturday 115-110. Anthony Simmons was the leading scorer for Portland with 31 points and Jusuf Nurkic scored 23 points and grabbed 14 rebounds. Orlando looks to bounce back from a loss with a victory on Monday when hosting Portland. Orlando is 8-36 and last in the Southeast Division, 19.5 games behind the first-place Miami Heat. Orlando was defeated by the Dallas Mavericks 108-92 on Saturday. The leading scorers for Orlando in the loss were Jalen Suggs, Maurice Wagner and Robin Lopez with 16 points each. The night before, Orlando snapped its 10-game losing streak with a victory over Charlotte. Portland continues to play without its leading scorer Damian Lillard, but second leading scorer CJ McCollum will return after a long absence with a collapsed lung. Orlando has struggled against opponents from the Western Conference, failing to cover the spread in 5 of the last 6. The Magic have lost 11 of the last 12 straight up while going 5-7 ATS over that same span. Overall this season, Orlando is 20-24 ATS. Portland Trail Blazers win and cover.
Toronto Raptors at Miami Heat. The Toronto Raptors look for a second consecutive victory Monday when visiting the Miami Heat. Toronto is 21-19 and third in the Atlantic Division, 5 games behind the first-place Brooklyn Nets. Toronto defeated the Milwaukee Bucks 103-96 on Saturday. Pascal Siakam posted a triple-double for Toronto with 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. Miami looks to bounce back from a loss with a victory on Monday when hosting Toronto. Miami is 27-16 and first in the Southeast Division with a 4-game lead over the Charlotte Hornets. Miami was defeated by the Philadelphia 76ers 109-98 on Saturday, snapping a 4-game winning streak for the Heat. Omer Yurtseven was the leading scorer for Miami with 22 points. Toronto is playing very well at the moment, as the Raptors have covered the number in 12 of their last 15. However, the Raptors have struggled against Miami, failing to cover the number in 10 of the last 14 versus the Heat. Miami Heat leading scorer Jimmy Butler is back and the Heat have covered the number in 5 of their last 6, and at home, Miami has covered the nut in 7 of the last 10 versus Toronto. Miami Heat wins and covers. Phoenix Suns at San Antonio Spurs. The Phoenix Suns will continue a road trip on Monday night with a visit to the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas, to take on Western Conference foe the San Antonio Spurs. Phoenix is 33-9 this season, riding a 2-game win streak following an 18-point blowout win against the Indiana Pacers. Offensively, Phoenix was dominant against Indiana, making 45.5% of their shots and 39.3% from beyond the arc to score 112 total points, including 66 in the second half, leading to the victory. The San Antonio Spurs remain at home Monday night following a 7-point win against the Los Angeles Clippers that ended a 5-game losing streak. The San Antonio defense led to the win against the Clippers as San Antonio held Los Angeles to 38% shooting and forced 15 turnovers, leading to the 7-point victory. Despite the inactive players for this game, Phoenix is by far the better overall team and it will show for the full 48 minutes. Look for the Suns to control the pace of this game, leading to an easy road win Monday night. Phoenix wins and covers.
Oklahoma City Thunder at Dallas Mavericks. The Oklahoma City Thunder will end a short homestand on Monday night with a visit to the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas to take on the Dallas Mavericks. Oklahoma City is struggling this season 14-28 on the year after losing 4 of the last 5 games played, including a 5-point loss to Cleveland last game out. The Dallas Mavericks come into Monday night rolling as of late winners of 4 of the last 5 games played, including a 16-point blowout of Orlando. Perennial All-Star Luka Doncic was the leading scorer for Dallas against Orlando with 23 points on 7 of 19 shooting despite playing only 31 minutes. Jalen Brunson and Kristaps Porzingis added a second-best 19 points each, and Tim Hardaway Jr. led the way off the bench with 17 points on 4 of 13 shooting. The Dallas Mavericks come into this game rolling through the new year and will continue the trend Monday night at home against a bad OKC team. Look for the Dallas offense and star power to overwhelm the Thunder for the full 48 minutes, leading to the easy home win for the Mavericks. Dallas wins and covers.
Utah Jazz at Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers return home on Monday with hopes to end their 3-game losing streak. Los Angeles lost in Denver on Saturday 133-96. LeBron James dropped 25 points in the loss. The Lakers are 21-22 on the year and sit 7th in the Western Conference. The Utah Jazz get caught playing on back-to-back nights. The Jazz played in Denver on Sunday before heading to LA. Utah is 28-14 on the season and 4th in the Western Conference. The Jazz last played the Lakers last season when they won 111-97. The Utah Jazz were on a 4-game losing streak before heading into a back-to-back game situation. Both teams have not played in recent games, but the Lakers show value as a home underdog. Our free pick for this matchup: Utah Jazz -4.5.